Today on RestoModZ, finish stripping the body and begin stitch welding the chassis in preparation for more horsepower. We begin by sanding all the seams with a wire wheel to minimize on splatter and weld contamination. We want to make sure to go all the way to bare metal anywhere we intend to weld. Now with the car under its own weight, we can begin stitch welding. I chose to begin inside the car in the seating area. I'm starting in the center of the vehicle and working my way outward to minimize on chassis flex, similar to how you would torque cylinder head down, starting from the inside and working your way out. On to the rear now. I start at the strut towers and work my way inward, tack welding evenly every 1 inch on all the structural seams. Okay, onto the front of the vehicle now. Again, I start at the strut towers and work my way in, taking my time and keeping a close eye on my heat. Here for the frame rails, I'm doing 1/2 inch welds every 1 inch. Everywhere else on the vehicle, I'm doing solid tack welds every 1 inch. It looks quick and easy in the video, but this is an all-day process. I'm letting each weld cool before beginning the next spot weld. Doing this greatly reduces the risk of warping or buckling your panel. Now I could easily weld up every seam in this chassis in about an hour or so, but by the end of it, I'll be stuck with a very rigid but crooked chassis. So just take your time and it will pay off in the end. This is a unibody car, so that means the structure comes from all of the body panels and frame panels being spot welded together to create one structure. The factory does this in a way that still allows the car to crumple in the event of an accident. Now I intend to drop a larger motor into this little car and toss it around the road course on the weekends, so some extra stiffness is definitely needed for this application. Increasing the chassis rigidity will greatly affect the handling characteristics and performance of your suspension. This car will be receiving coilover suspension, upgraded sway bars, and upgraded brakes. With performance upgraded suspension, you can induce a lot of road stress and vibration into your chassis and suspension mounting locations. Stitch welding or seam welding these areas will keep the car from flexing or tweaking under high loads. Okay, so here's a fun one for you. OSHA reps, look away. I needed to get the car as high as possible, but still keeping it flat on its wheels. I needed to access the underside so that I can clean and weld the frame rails. I was able to pull this off with 8 spare wheels that I had lying around and some MDF cutoffs. I made sure that each wheel stack was the same height, being that I do not have 8 identical wheels lying around. I used what I had and used the wood to shim it even. Once I had the car all the way up, I made sure to lock the wheels and give the car a good shake to check for stability. Now with the car up in the air, I can easily access the underside and prep for welding. Because I'm doing this in my garage without a lift, I made sure to do all the rest of the welding first and I left the bottom for last. I did this to minimize the potential of twisting from lifting the car up to get it up in the air. Avoiding taking these precautions could result in doors sagging or no longer latching, poor fender gaps, and windshields have even been known to pop out or not fit from the chassis twisting. Okay, so here we are welding the underside of the car now. This is the frame rail to the floorboard section. Here I am welding a 1-inch weld every 1 inch. This is the most important frame rail on the car, so we want to make sure that we weld this one solid. And with that, we are finished seam welding this chassis. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and maybe learned something along the way. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you liked this video, please give it a like. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.